Today I want to talk about something that people don't want to talk about, grief. I don't understand why people are so afraid of it. And as you get to be my age, you're going to have grief in your life. It's going to be there. If it's not for people, it's going to be for your pets. Um, I've been in it for the last few months. I'm going to tell you the story about Rainbow. She's a cat that I lost in December. I lost her daughter in October. And I will tell you the story about how she came here. But today I just want to talk about grief because I've been in it and I find myself trying to run away from it. And that doesn't work. Because it's there and it's gonna come out when it wants to come out. And sitting out here, this is where me and Rainbow used to sit all the time for years. And now she's not here. And I sit out here and cry. And it's because I loved her so much. She was my best friend out here. She was my yard friend. She was my company. I used to, I spend a lot of time outside, and especially in the spring and the summer and the fall. And she was by my side constantly, pretty much. Although she was pretty independent, especially when she was younger. But as she got older, she was more dependent on me. And there's a lot of grief. There's a lot of grief. There's a lot of, I guess it's resistance to change because it's just changed my whole life drastically. And I have found myself running from it. Just go park yourself in front of the TV or YouTube. YouTube has been someplace that I go a lot. But I've met some pretty amazing people that I'm pretty inspired by. Maybe that's why I'm doing this. But I just wanted to talk about how I've been running from my grief. And I think the grief of a pet, especially when you live alone, I've been alone and lived alone for over 20 years. And my pets have been my family, my company, my companionships. There's people, but they're not with me 24/7. The animals are always there with you 24/7. And it's a huge change when they leave. I've had family members cross over, but I can't say that losing them was harder than losing the animals that have gone in the time that I've been here. And I think when I was younger, maybe I accepted it easier. I think, losing the dogs, I always had other ones here, still here. And, I still have a cat. I have one of the daughters left, one of Rainbow's daughters left. She's 15. I don't know how much longer she will be here. And it's like then that whole period of my life is ended. I think you see that more as you get older. I don't remember. I think differently. I guess as you get older, you think of things differently. You reflect differently. And yeah, it's very different this time. Very, very different. Because the last dog I lost was 8 years ago. And he was the last of that period of having the shepherds. He was the last one of that family. And they were my family. And they meant everything to me. Lots of joy and just that unconditional love. And I sit here and wonder why I don't have another dog. I had the cats to take care of, and I wanted to see what it was like just to have cats. And, just been a lot of changes and trying to take care of myself better. And I thought maybe not having a dog, and I've enjoyed the cats. I've really enjoyed. It's been a beautiful time in my life, and it gives me more freedom to go and do things. And but there's still that space that's not filled anymore. There's still a space that's empty now, and the one that filled it is never going to come back. And I think, there's supposed to be 5 aspects of grief: accepting, anger, there's 5 emotions, I guess. Yeah, the anger that comes up, and the not accepting. And I know that, when she first went, I didn't accept it. I ran away from that grief, and now I'm facing it. And it's been intense. I mean, I'm okay today. But sitting out here brings back a lot of memories, which is all right, because they're all really good memories. But it's still that sadness that's here. Grief is, there's so many different aspects of it. There's so many different emotions that come up. I don't know that there's just 5. Somebody said there's 5. And the acceptance is definitely, the anger, definitely. And then the guilt, you feel guilty that maybe I didn't do something right, or I could have did something differently, and maybe they would still be here. And but the animals don't live the length of life that we do. And if we get to be my age and you love animals and you've had a lot of pets, and you've gone through a lot of grief, and it's part of the journey with them. And it's really beautiful. It's really something to honor. And it's a deeper love, I think, that you can have with a person. I don't know. I've never had. Sure, I love my kids. I love my grandkids. I've loved people deeply, but I don't. I think there's a freedom when you have a pet. There's a freedom to love them in a way that you can't love people, because the animals accept us the way we are. They don't get mad at us if we're grouchy. They don't judge us. They don't get, make us. They don't feel. It's different. It's, anybody that has had a pet understands exactly what I'm saying. I'm just sharing that, I've had good time here, and I've had challenges. Of course I have. You can't live, no matter where you are, you're going to have challenges, but you have extra, I think, when you live with what I've had on my shoulders, which sometimes I think is too much. But then I have days when I'm just like, oh my God, thank you. I love you. I love this place so much. I would never want to live anyplace else. So yeah, I've been going through it. It's not been comfortable. It's an uncomfortable feeling. And I think that we're taught that, your pets are going to die, people are going to die, but you're going to get over it. You don't ever get over it. I don't think you could. I personally am never going to get over any of them. I remember every single one of them. And I've had a lot. It wasn't just the shepherds that I had here. There were animals before I came here. There's been animals my whole life. I grew up on a farm, and there was loss there. So get over it? No, I don't think you ever get over it. You learn to live with it. You move forward. It becomes your new normal. I'm in that space of getting used to this new normal still. I mean, it was December. We've had a really cold January, so I wasn't out here much. Now it's warming up. I'm out here. And I love being able to come outside. Um, I love it. And, I'm going to love all the memories that come up because of it, because it's just, she was always out here with me. So there's an empty space. There is another cat here, but he doesn't want nothing to do with me. He's super feral or something. I think I talked about it before. He never comes during the day, only comes at night to eat and splits. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. I don't think he's going to hang around out here with me this year. So there's always another cat. So I guess the space does get filled. And he was here before she died. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. So yeah, I'm going through it. And I'm getting there day by day. I have days, you have days when you don't think about it and you're just busy with other things and you don't think. But it's when I sit out here is when a lot of memories come. And I have the trailer that I have to clean out. I still have most of her beds. I just can't let them go. I'm going to donate them, but I want to wash them first. And I just can't do it yet. I just not in that space that I can do it yet. And that's all right. You can't rush it. You can't rush it. You can't force it. And it's okay to take your time. And I have to keep telling myself that because I'm like, oh, I need to do this. I need to do this. And it's like, today I went to the dump and went to the swap shop, and her daughter, who died in October, there was a blanket that she was always snuggling in, but she was so sick on that blanket that every time I look at that blanket, I think of her being sick. And I finally was able to let it go today. I washed it and, I did it. And I'm okay with it. It just takes time. It just takes time. Anyway, I have one person that I can talk to about it, and thought, there's got to be people out there that have gone through the same thing and feel that deeply. And it's love. It's because you love them so much, the grief is very intense, and it has been very intense. But that's part of life. That's part of having an animal be a part of your family. You can't run away from it. You can't avoid it. And I'd rather sit here and say that, be thankful that I had her, that I had that kind of love and that kind of relationship. There's some saying from somebody that love is joy and joy is love, and it is. And sadness or grief is love. Grief is love. Maybe I got that wrong. Love is grief and grief is love. Well, sorrow is joy and joy is sorrow. It's all the same. It just feels differently, I guess. It does feel differently. So I know there's people out there that have lost pets. Maybe somebody wants to share their experience and how they feel, and I would be very welcoming to hear what you have gone through. It's not easy. And I'd hate saying not easy. I don't want to say it's hard. It's intense. It's an intense emotion that we've been taught not to allow ourselves to feel. And maybe we can't feel it all at once because it's so intense. You have to have the time and take the time to process it slowly. You can't do it all at once. I really learned that I can't do it all at once, and I can't rush it because it's always going to be there. It's just it has gotten lighter. It will continue to get lighter. And I will continue to move forward, and I will continue to love more animals. I know I will. But I won't ever forget, and I won't ever get over it. Well, I think that's long enough. I might bring this up again if something else comes up. But I will tell you the story of Rainbow. What a special girl, and she lived a full life. Really, really full life. Maybe not the life that I think she should have had, but man, watching her she was such a teacher. And I hope to continue with the rest of my life living as fully as she did, or as fully as I can as a human being. Okay, thank you for listening to me, and share anything that you have gone through that I would love to hear it. Maybe something that I've said, maybe it's something that you've wanted to share too. Grief is part of life. You can't run away from it. And if you've had a pet, like I said, you're gonna go through it. If you've loved that deeply, you're gonna go through it. But you're gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. All right, take care. Thank you. Bye.